We always wing it.
Bidermann's or Bidermann's? Bidermann.
Let's call it Bidermann's escape.
Bidermann's.
Bidermann's escape.
I'll be back.
Best of Friends 18. I think Best of Friends 2 do, I believe.
Yeah.
In
so.
Belarus, 1944. And you got to pick, and you picked
the Germans.
The Germans, and left me with
Germans.
The Russians. Thanks, Scott. I appreciate it.
I kind of giggled to myself when I did that because it's like, oh, Neil's.
I could hear that little laugh, glee.
Yeah.
Sucker.
Taking your Germans from you, play the Russians.
Oh god. Okay, victory conditions. Germans win immediately upon exiting at least 3 squads, not equivalents, which is important. So I assume it can't be a half squad. They have to be a full squad. No. Yeah. Off the north edge, which is going to be the left edge in our setup that you'll see in a minute. And each of your Skid 10s, half tracks, anti-aircraft half tracks count as 1 squad. So, and I am on the defense, and I've got 6 first line squads, a couple mediocre leaders, and 2 machine guns that have a propensity to break down, and 4 dummy morale counters. Now I have these 2 T-26 M37s, which, you know, in this scenario aren't bad tanks going up against your Skid 10 half tracks.
No.
We'll see how that works out. But I felt I felt pretty good about this, but they're radioless, which, yeah, I hate radioless. Platoon movement. So that was my order of battle.
I got 9 first line squads, 3 good leaders. Well, 2 good leaders. Yeah. 8-0 medium, 2 lights, and then the 20L AA half tracks, which, yeah,
we had a bit
they're basically unarmored, but
we had a little bit of a debate about this thing because whether it's not open top, but are the guys? It's basically an anti-aircraft gun bolted to the back of a truck, kind of, or half track, but they're in the open. So we had a debate on. Well, we couldn't find this in the armor listing either, could we?
No. There was a 10/4.
Yeah.
I think no 10/5, but they were basically the same. The only difference was rate of fire and crew survival.
Yeah.
I think.
But we had a little bit of a debate. It's not indicated as open top, but is the crew always CE or not? And do they have to be CE to get road rate? I don't know. We just kind of agreed on something and went with it. I don't think it would have. It's such a small board. I don't think it really would have affected much. But
yeah, it's kind of, I don't know. We could research that in the rules sometime.
Yeah,
we have, because it came up in another scenario too. It's the vulnerable passenger crew rule. I don't.
Oh, I think we agreed they're vulnerable through the unarmored side and rear.
Right.
But not through the front. But do they have to be? Are they always CE or not? We couldn't figure that out.
Well, yeah, you get into the whole like truck thing. There is no crew exposed or buttoned up. So.
Yeah, this vehicle confused us a little bit, but I don't think it had any effect on the game, to be honest.
No.
What's ELR? We both have ELR 3. I have SAN 3. You have SAN 2. Special rules: wet, no wind, all buildings are wood, ground level, no kindling, no bore sighting, and you get smoke exponent increased by 1, even if it were 0. So if you get ELR'd, I guess, down to something with no smoke exponent, you would have 1 anyway.
Yeah.
And no Panzerfaust. So, you know, looking at my tanks against your anti-aircraft little half tracks, I wasn't too worried. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to roll in and smoke those things.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, look, when we looking at it, it's like I didn't think that my half tracks would last too long in the game.
Yeah,
I mean,
ASL's a funny game.
basically all you had to do was hit them. I
Yeah,
mean, I think you needed like a 10 to kill on the front, through the front covered arc,
yeah.
the armored,
Or through the
but
side rear, I'd just fire
smoke
at
it.
them. Yeah, blow
Yeah.
the tires out or engine block or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I was really bummed about the no Panzer Faust capability,
Yeah. So
but
the threat to my T-26s was very low,
yeah.
really. Um, and yeah. Well, we'll go through the setup here in a minute. So let's do advantages, disadvantages. Then we'll do our setup. I set up first, so I'll do my advantages. I have the AFVs, which I talked about, pretty good, at least relative to what you have, and don't really have to worry about any anti-tank capability from you, other than those little half tracks. I have fully concealed because you're coming from off board. Plus, I get a few dummies. Disadvantages: my AFVs are radioless, which is always kind of a pain in the ass because you got to keep them together. If you split them up, then there's a chance they may not be able to move. And in general, I have shit support weapons. I just not a fan of Russian support.
Oh,
Everything's
come
breakdown
on.
11. It's like something's gonna break down, guaranteed.
Heavy, heavier than hell.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
The medium.
Yeah, what is a meat? It's got five. Is it five portage points? Which
Yeah,
is
five
insane.
portage point.
They must
Yeah.
carry around like a ton of ammo.
Well, it was on that little cart. You had to drag the cart around.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's part of it, right? That's on wheels, right? Like little wheels
Yeah,
and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Balance. Roar 85 wins. Archive 17 wins. How about you?
Uh, Germans had a 9-2 leadership. That's the 9-2 is always good to have. Time. You have a pretty decent amount of time to have to travel the distance you do, so that's good. The smoke. Yeah, it's an advantage. I mean, you're only talking smoke exponent of 2, and I think I tried it twice, and then 30% chance.
Did you even? I don't even remember you trying it twice.
Yeah, I tried it
Did you?
twice, and
Yeah.
but at that point, it was like, not gonna.
Screw
Well,
it.
I didn't want to. Yeah, yeah, just go.
Go.
But yeah, not a ton of disadvantages for the Germans. The AA half tracks, they're more of a liability than any. I mean, not totally, but
They have 6 firepower, but if I get a beat on them, they're smoked.
yeah, if you can keep them alive, they'll help you. You got the 6 infantry firepower equivalent, but trying to keep them alive very long, that's probably the tricky part. But Roar has it at 89 wins, and Kai's has it at 26 wins for the Germans.
Yeah. So pretty close in balance. Not too out of whack. Maybe just ever so slightly the Germans, but who knows
Yeah.
when it's that close in numbers. Setup. I'll go first. German setups, you can see where the units are. This pinkish hex here is it's,
Russian setup.
yeah,
Yeah.
this pink hex here is where I have my 9-1 medium and a squad. Sorry, 8-1 medium and a squad. Figured I would adjust him depending on where you come on. I kind of put him centralized. The 2 red stacks are just dummies, just to keep you honest. I didn't really know what to do with them. Didn't want to set up any real units too far forward. They would just get overrun either north or south, depending on which side you came in. Or sorry, top or bottom of the board. And then these are potential fire lanes that I wanted to set up. And there's a light machine gun here. I wasn't really successful because I just started adjusting as soon as you came on, and you really didn't move into any of my fire lanes that I wanted to get set up. Then my tanks, radialist tanks using platoon movement. I could have brought them on either the lower part of the board or the upper part of the board. I chose the lower part of the board to set them up to cover this road here and basically this road here, depending on where
Mm-hmm.
your half tracks were come down. Plus, I could cover this open area here. Then once I got them positioned, I was debating having one break off and try to move up here. Um, and really didn't get that far. We'll see how it goes. So that was my setup and my plan as the Russians. How about the Germans?
German plan. Well, the top side of the board just has way more cover as far as traversing the bottom of the board. You've got the stream to deal with. It kind of just, which is really going to slow you down. Then it leaves other than the stream, it's just open ground. So yeah, my plan was just kind of shove everything across the middle upper side of the board.
Hmm.
And the AA half tracks, I knew they probably wouldn't last long, so I was just going to try and be careful with them. But my plan was to, like, get them in on the first turn and then to set up kind of to try and hopefully slow you down from reacting, to my coming in on the top side. Maybe
Yeah.
cut off the bottom half of the board with the half tracks. But yeah, that was it.
And in hindsight, we always have hindsight, and you think I would learn by now on these scenarios where you're defending and the opposition is
Mm-hmm.
coming from on board. I would think by now I would learn to, especially on a board this playing area this small, I would set up everything centralized and then react instead of
Yeah.
spreading out and trying to cover, and then guys, on the bottom side of the board trying to react all the way to the top. I should just set up central and then just shove everything in that direction, whichever direction you're going to come on, whether you split or come on all on one side. But I'm a slow learner, I guess. I don't know.
Well, sometimes depending on the boards, depending on the map, sometimes it's kind of tough. I always worry about, well, am I gonna be able to get there quick enough, or you know, usually have to cross some open ground or something. But
Hmm. Yeah, in a big scenario, those are things you have to worry about. Something like this, don't. Yeah, I didn't really have to worry
yeah,
about it. I should have just set up, like,
yeah,
just lined up behind this wall or something. I don't know.
yeah. Especially where the Germans are trying to cross the board and get off the board, you don't really care about the right half of the board. If you
Right.
can lock them down on the left side of the board, that's all you need to worry about. So
Yeah. So my setup probably wasn't optimal, but it was what it was. Let's kick it off. Kick her off. You're rolling on here.
yeah, I was a little surprised you didn't really put anything up there to seal off that very top edge of the board. So I just started CXing and moving as fast as I could. I mean, you couldn't even get a shot at me. So, I
No,
mean, I didn't know. I was a little worried about maybe you might have a squad, dummy stack, but wasn't terribly worried about it.
well, I just set up in row DD or left of that on this orientation. So yeah, I mean, if I set up too far forward, you would just blast me. And my plan was to react, but I
Yeah.
shouldn't have set up so spread out. I took a shot with my medium here on your half track here. Got a hit, and then I rolled a 12 on the 2 kill. That was kind of a
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
foreshadowing of what's to come.
Uh,
I think some players might have think they could just drive the half tracks off, but you have to run a gauntlet, and they're
Oh,
unarmored on the
yeah, yeah.
side, so it's super risky.
I thought about it. I mean, I thought about for just a minute or two, but it's like, yeah, the unarmored side. I mean, you position guys right next to every road, and
Hmm.
you'd have to drive by and take a point blank shot in the back, and it wouldn't work.
Here I'm starting to reposition, bring on my radialist tanks. put.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna go right to Y6. And I started shooting with my 20L there, and I mean with the rate of fire 3, I mean you may get lucky.
Uh-huh. Well, you got rate. You got rate again.
Yeah, I think I shot like 3 times.
Yeah, you hit me 3 times. Nothing happened yet. I'm firing back, but primarily holding my fire. My infantry don't have much to shoot at yet. Now we're on turn 2. Oh, you mouthed. You mouthed your
Yeah, off my main armament.
main armament there.
So I got
Which
lucky and repaired it.
yeah, you got lucky and repaired it, but it was still worth a squad, even with malfunctioned
Right. Yeah.
weapons. So you didn't have to worry about. Well, I guess you could have failed to. You could have broke it permanently, and it would have had to be recalled. That was your only concern, I guess.
Well, the problem is like from right here, it's like, well, how do I get it off the board? You know.
Oh, here's brain fart time for you.
Oh yeah,
Not
yeah.
trying not to throw you under the bus, but I brain farted it too.
Yeah, I came down here because I get a little flank on you,
Right.
and I'm out of your covered arcs. Might get lucky, get a side shot on you. Thinking the whole time that eventually I'd be able to just drive through that stone wall and head for the left side of the board.
You
Yeah,
bypass down here, right? Weasel
yeah,
through here,
yeah.
try to get off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was worried about it too. I'm like, oh damn, I need to cover that.
It wasn't until I started to actually contemplate doing that, and I looked at the train chart. Well, wait a minute. Half tracks can't go through a stone wall. It's
No,
NA.
I know.
Like, oh yeah,
It didn't
okay.
dawn on me either. I'm leaving guys down there to like cover that, and you can't even. Oh God,
Yeah.
we're we're good at ASL. You just got to hit and immobilized the tank in the intersection. Now it's a decent place to be immobilized, but that sucked. I'm gonna get revenge on that thing. Yeah, you rolled pretty good on. Oh, and I mouthed this guy's weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that was a good turn for me. But I'm gonna get revenge on that half track.
Yeah, and I'm just pushing the rest of my guys across the top. I mean, I was debating about maybe trying to shoot through the middle of the board too. But I got that street I got to cross. So
Hmm. Now, if only uh, vehicle machine guns could do fire lanes,
mm-hmm.
unfortunately. But still, I had main armament and some machine guns to cover it. So, I mean, it wasn't a bad place to be immobilized. Oh, I took out your half track up here.
But it was at this point I'm looking at him. It's like I'm figuring you got like 2 squads down on the bottom side of the board, which means you only have 4 squads on the top side of the board.
Yeah, because I was protecting. I was worried this my gun had malfunctioned. So I'm like, oh, I can't let you squeeze that guy through bypass and get off. Just like
Mm-hmm.
you thinking that you could go over the wall, but you couldn't. Yeah,
Yeah.
lots of stupid stuff going on here. By the way, this for people watching, this scenario does not go the full 5.5 turns. It falls apart pretty quick. I'm already falling back. Got some broken units. Turn 3, German 3.
Well, it slowed. You slowed because you ended up breaking a couple guys with the 9-2, I think, or at least one, and then that
Yeah, it may have
ended up
ended
losing
earlier.
them. Yeah, the guy with the medium, I think, broke, and so I'd wait. I mean, I had crap morale checks, but the only difference the difference between this and the last scenario is I was able to rally them pretty quick. So.
Here you tried to play smoke, didn't work.
Oh yeah.
So the guy's like, I'm not going out there. tried it again. He's not. I'm not going out there.
Yeah, I mean, I left an 8-0 leader in the back waiting because I figured I'd have some broken guys, but he ended up doing nothing. I didn't have a ton of broken guys.
You're trying to soften me up, I think, before you run across next turn.
Yeah, I was a little scared of your 8-1 with the squad and medium.
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
No. Here you go. The wave is coming. And I have my tank. You're just like flipping the tank off as you run across the street. You're like, you don't care.
Well, at this point, I mean, I had enough. I still had like 9 squads up, I think, and 8 or 9. It's like, well, I can afford to lose 1 or 2, I guess, but like I got lucky. This is kind of the point of the game where your dice really kind of went to crap.
Yeah, so another brain fart moment. So I permanently disabled my main armament here, but I didn't occur to me to recall him. So I actually moved him next turn. So just ignore that.
Oh,
He didn't do anything, but I moved him. He should have just moved off the board. We figured it out later, but yeah, another brain fart. Yeah, here I'm firing up the street. I did break. Looks like I broke and pinned something.
Yeah.
Helped a little, but couldn't really stem the tide getting across the street.
Yeah, I just ended up advancing into the street instead of trying to run across it, and then.
Yeah, here I moved. This tank should have moved off board, but I moved it up here. Thinking I could use the machine guns, but couldn't use anything. He was recalled.
Cheater.
Yeah, I don't recall it having an effect. I think I might have bounding fire, but it didn't do anything, so didn't have an effect. Somewhere in here it is, right here. So I think you just get it's a pretty benign morale check on this stack, I believe.
Yeah,
and I
it
roll
wasn't
a
much. +1 morale check or something.
I roll a frickin' 12, then
for the leader.
For the leader. So then I roll, my wound check.
Wound check.
So he's smoked.
Toast.
And I believe everything else breaks. Or no?
No, the one guy survived.
Oh, the machine gun broke earlier. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
And the other guy survives, but yeah, that's not good. Forgot about the broken machine gun.
Well, yeah, and your only other leader is down on the bottom of the board.
Right. Yeah, thinking I have to protect from this guy. Yeah, so many errors in this game. This guy should be on the board, immobilized. Yeah, this is when it's falling apart here.
Yeah, the fat lady's starting to warm up.
Now it's your movement. This is pretty much we're getting near the end of the game because I've got one squad there. This tank isn't really there with machine guns, and I have a pinned half squad there with no machine gun. That's and a CX squad there. And you've got a ton of units, and I think you just start running.
Well, here it's the point. Yeah, I figured out I couldn't go over the wall, so I'm trying to figure. Well, how can I get him off the board? I was gonna bypass, but then I thought, nope, that's gonna take. So I ended up just running him in front of you.
Yeah, he drove right in front of me, and I'm like, dur. Nothing. Miss. Just drives right by me.
Yeah, now I'm just gonna start taking off. Just
Yeah,
You've only got one squad and a half squad up there is all.
Yeah, you just start drawing
Or two
fire,
squad. You got 2.5 squads, I guess.
and I don't think I get anything decent. Oh yeah, there's a 12, so he's final fired. Hey, that's cool. Then I roll a
Yeah.
10 for that guy. Or no, that was a 6. You pass. 9. Pinned him, and that's pretty much all. Everything's fired now.
Yep. Everything's final
So you
fired.
just run by. You just bypass, you know, on the wood
Bypass the
taxes.
residual, yeah.
Miss all the residual. So yeah, that was pretty much end of the game because
Yeah, we could have kept playing, but there was no way really,
no,
unless you got incredibly lucky.
because you'll be able to you'll be able to get these guys off here.
Mm-hmm.
I might be able to fire at these guys. I mean, I would. You just move through the building, and I'd probably get nothing. You'd be able to drive your anti-aircraft half track off, plus all these other units. At that point, we called it after 3, probably not even 3.5 turns, pretty much. I think I did try to do a self rally or something to check, see if I get lucky, but no, nothing happened.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could just advance this guy off, but I might get a chance to shoot at him with 4 plus 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing. But that was it. It just went to hell really quick for
Well,
the
yeah.
Russians.
At this point, I already had one squad off, so all I needed to get was 2 more off.
Yeah, half
then-
track's off guaranteed. Nothing I can do about it. Well, that's not true. I guess I could have.
You could have fired
I
at
had
him,
4
but then
fire.
you
Yeah,
wouldn't. If
Yeah.
you fired at the half track, then you wouldn't be able to fire at any infantry. So
2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
well, the
7.
9-2, they could have CX'd and got off too.
Yeah.
So
It was over. We call that. Yeah, that's it. It was over. Went to pot very quickly. Yeah, let's look at the dice. Dice bought. Look at the dice. Overall, not a lot of rolls. We got 65 for you, 62 for me. Ended fairly early. You had 6.8. I had 7.3. Yeah, I got some bad rolls exactly when I didn't need them. Yeah, it was terrible. Lots of broken weapons, casualty reduction, morale checks. Yeah. I didn't get any snake eyes. None.
no,
Not at all.
I never got a sniper activation.
Yeah, there was 0 sniper activity. Yeah, it was just this scenario was a mess for at least for the Russians. Yeah, not my favorite experience or scenario, to be honest.
Yeah,
Like
I think.
Go ahead.
I think it's to me it felt like it was a pretty balanced scenario.
Yeah, I think that's what
Maybe
we played.
slightly,
It looked balanced.
yes, slightly favors the Germans, but the key is those 2 Russian tanks.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that was my plan. I figured they were practically impervious to your right. You needed you needed snake eyes to kill, a 3 to shock or immobilize depending on where they hit. I'm like, I can easily roll in and take them out before you roll good enough, enough times to maybe get a result on me. Well, that didn't work. You immobilized one, I broke the weapon on the other. And then if I took out your 2 half tracks, then I would use my tanks to support my infantry. But none of my plans came to fruition in this scenario. I just couldn't, I don't know.
Yeah. No. Once you lost the 2 tanks, yeah, then all you had was 6 squads, and you didn't really even have 6. You only you had like 4 at the most on top, and
Yeah,
I still had like 9. Still had 9 squads, and
then losing my 8-1, losing the medium machine gun. Yeah, it was. This is the love-hate relationship I have with small scenarios. I love them because they play quick, they play fast. I hate them because and I think I posted this in our Plus gaming group, that sometimes I don't think it's worth the time to spend thinking about tactics and setup for small scenarios, because it seems like whoever has the hot dice is probably going to win these little scenarios like this, and that kind of takes the skill out of your hand a lot of the time. It's all fortunes of war, small scenarios, which is what I hate about small scenarios.
Yeah, we've always said they're dicey, right?
Yeah.
And they are, because you know, they usually take place on a smaller footprint of mat, but at the same time, it's like you can't really afford to lose much, right? And like in
No.
this, in this game's a perfect example. I mean, yeah, one or two bad morale checks, and it's like sayonara.
I know. So I still have that love-hate relationship with small scenarios. I don't know.
But in theory, in this game, your two tanks should easily take out the half tracks, right? And then you can move them to the left side of the board and help the infantry, support the infantry, and because you had a four firepower coax and then a 2 firepower rear coax. So anybody that tries to run by you, shoot them through your rear covered arc, or
Yeah, I mean, I took out one of your half tracks, and like you said, all I had to do was hit it, and it was toast, right? But I didn't really get much of an opportunity, other than I think I got one shot. I mean, I took a bounding fire shot at you and missed, and then the one legit shot I got, well, other than you driving by me point blank, I didn't get the point blank modifier, but you were right in front of me and I missed.
Yeah, I mean, I actually didn't drive it off. I probably could have driven off maybe, but the actual chances of those half tracks moving across the board, getting off, are like next to none, I think.
Yeah, if both my tanks were in service, this wouldn't have made it off.
No, even if you got enough infantry,
Yeah. Yeah, just keep him next to a road and get a point blank on the side or something. Just take the driver out or whatever.
Get a morale check or. But yeah.
So the post game analysis. I mean, we don't often rate scenarios. We just kind of say, yeah, that was fun or whatever. I don't know. I didn't feel it with this one. Maybe it was just because of the fortunes of war, because of the dice. Medium, bigger scenarios, it can soak that stuff up. When any of your plans are just taken out of your hands by a couple dice rolls, it's just like, it wasn't any fun, really. I mean, you've experienced the other side of it too, I know.
Oh yeah, no, it's like, whenever a game comes down to final close combat roll or a morale check or something, and it's like all you need to do is roll a 7 or less or something. It's like that's pretty good odds, but I always roll a 10, an 8 or a 9 or a 10. It's like, come on.
Well, I don't mind that, where it's the last dice roll. It could go either way. I kind of like those endings, but it's the one where you're halfway through the game like this one, and the rug is just pulled out from under you. Just you lose, sucker. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the last scenario we played, my French. I couldn't make a morale check.
Yeah.
And it's like the dice were just killing me. I couldn't make a morale check, and then it's like, okay, well, I got enough leaders, so I'll just rally them. Well, then I couldn't get a rally roll. My rally attempts were all garbage, and it's pretty soon you got a bunch of broken squads, and DM, and forget about it. Game over.
Game over, Mario. Wah wah wah. Where's your horn? Do the horn. Game over. Perfect. Okay.
What'd you say you didn't have a good feeling about this scenario? Left a bad taste in your mouth. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
You don't feel too bad about it though. You got
Me?
yeah, you got your
Yeah.
much needed victory. You were complaining that you hadn't won for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hadn't won in a while. It was finally got. That's because I picked the Germans. So guess what? I'm going to start picking the Germans more often.
Oh, guess who gets to pick next scenario?
Yeah.
Moi. This guy right here.
Wow.
But we're playing Blazing Chariots. I have no idea which side to pick, to be honest.
Oh,
I'm
I
like,
do. You'll pick the
what?
Germans. That's easy.
No, I'm considering either. I just haven't decided. I haven't let you know yet.
No.
I mean, it's all set up. We're ready to go. I just haven't picked.
You'll pick the Germans. You'll pick the Germans.
You think so?
Yep.
Now I'm picking.
I'll bet you money.
How much?
$20.
$20? Then I'm going to pick the Germans. Okay, I'll take that bet. Guess what? Guess what, biatch? I'm taking the British. Give me that $20. Yeah. So we're playing Blazing Chariots.
Blazing Chariots.
It's very
I don't know how
simple.
that's gonna be.
Well, it's very simple desert rules because it's just open ground and Hamada and scrub, right? So you can see everything. It just there's a little bit of movement hindrance if you go through Hamada, I think, and then some blindness. That's pretty much it. We're starting slow, but
No dust.
no, because it's ECs are moist, so there's no
Ah,
dust.
damn it! I was just gonna drive my tanks around in circles.
Big
stir up
cyclone
a huge
of
cloud
dust.
of dust. Yeah.
So yeah, it's just gonna be a turkey shoot. And I bet you, I guarantee you, $20. I bet you $20. It's just gonna come down whoever has a hot dice. Who takes the most AFVs out, because it's just gonna be a bunch of tanks driving around the open ground shooting at each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know which side I'm gonna pick. That's our next scenario though. Next
Yeah.
AAR.
The dice will definitely play.
Yeah. Okay. We are at 37 minutes. God, we got to keep these. Yeah, we got to keep these at a half hour, but we're getting closer. Scott,
Get to the chopper!
If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you saw, thanks for watching, and let me know how I can do better. See you in the next video.